Welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be looking at swordtails. I've never had more success breeding swordtails ever, so I'm so keen to show you guys this. And I was doing a water change and I thought I'd make a video about it. So let's dive into it. First of all, I'd like to show you guys that this tank is nothing special. It's just a normal 2 foot or just under 2 foot by just under 2 foot by just under 2 foot. It's a cube tank. I'm not sure how many litres, maybe like 100 litres. It's very simple. I've got a tiny bit of like sand, gravel on the bottom. But I do have kind of a cool scape in here. So I've got a bunch of slate tiles that I like broke up into all different shapes and sizes. And I like stacked it up. So there's a bunch of little crevices, tons of hiding places in there. And I've got some like coconut shells with some holes drilled in them just for looks, purely just for looks. And I've got like some kind of floating plants. They wouldn't do a lot, but again, there's some floating plants in there. No heater, and there is a sponge filter at the back. So it's a very simple setup. I just filled it with water, and I added in some swordtails, some adult swordtails. The swordtails I've got in here are pineapple swordtails. They're like an orange variety. I find them quite beautiful. I saw them in Nick's shop up in Brisbane and I was like, I gotta get them, they're cool. So I think I put like, originally I put a pair in here. I think I've got now like 4 or 5 breeding adults in here. The pH is around 7, sometimes it's a bit less, quite acidic, but I do add crushed coral in here so it does harden the water a bit for them, because most live bearers do need a little bit harder water to do quite well. I have a couple of mystery snails in here. Their purpose is purely just to eat uneaten food, so that the tank doesn't foul up if I overfeed accidentally. And apart from that, it's pretty simple. I don't worry about TDS, water temperature fluctuates throughout the year. They don't seem to mind. I think it sits around 24, 25 degrees Celsius. Feels about that at the moment. So I added the adults in here. There'd be like 3 females, 2 males, something like that. And then you just leave it. So I just left it in there for a while, and every few weeks they'll drop like 180 babies, and this must be from like a couple of females, and they literally don't eat the babies. Like they eat a couple when they're first born, but if you feed them heaps and heaps of food every day, so what I've been doing, I just do regular water changes for maintenance. All I do is just feed them butt tons of bug buffet. Like every day I put so much in there until they can't eat anymore. And then they have no desire to eat the babies whatsoever. There is a lot of hiding places as backup. But apart from that, I just let them pump out a bunch of babies every few weeks. I let them swim around. I feed the babies as well, bug buffet, newly hatched baby brine shrimp, stuff like that. And then I just let them colony breed. I don't put them in, I don't know where it is, but the little breeder boxes, I don't do anything. I just let them colony breed up in here. And then when they get to about this size, there's about 100 in here of these babies, I just get a net, and I'll do it on video here in a minute. I just get a net and then I scoop them all out, pull everything out except for 4 or 5 of them, because they are going to grow up in here and become breeders for the next cycle, because adults will die off, you know, within a few years, and I need to keeping the line strong by continually adding new breeders in there, extra females, extra males. So I always leave about 4 or 5 in there just to grow up, so they just absolutely breed like rabbits. It's so easy. I never realized actually how easy it was before. I've showed you guys a bunch of different methods on the channel in the past, and none of them have been nearly as successful as this. And yeah, so when I scoop them out, then I chuck them up into a big 6-foot aquarium, and up in the 6 foot is nothing. It's purely a grow out tank, and I've got about 100 up in there from previous scoops. I've only done, I think, 1 scoop out of this tank so far, and that was a few weeks back, maybe a month now, and now I'm ready to do it again. Then they'll grow up and then I can sell them. So it's like, it's the best colony breeding setup ever. You only need 2 tanks. You need to grow it like a breeding tank, and then you need a grow out tank. You could sell out of this tank, but it would take too long and it would get quite crowded as they grow. I find when you scoop them out, when they get to about this size, and put them into a big tank, they just grow really, really fast. As you can see a male there, he's looking awesome. Once they get to about this size, they also can't be eaten as well, and then they're perfect size for putting in a grow out tank. So now I'm going to catch them all out of here and add them up with the other ones. And also once they get to this size, the other ones that are growing out won't eat them either. So let's get to work. Let's scoop out as much babies as possible and put them in a grow out tank. Okay, so I just put all the babies in the grow out tank, and there's literally nothing to it from here on. You just need to feed them until they're at suitable size to sell. But it truly is mesmerising when you have like hundreds of them in a big tank. And it's kind of giving me a cool idea of what to do with my display tank in the fish room. I think I want to add a bunch of some type of fish, like hundreds of them, because it's like quite fascinating. And I used to be kind of drawn to it by watching Nick's videos back in the day when he used to have a bunch of grow out tanks with hundreds of fish in them, like bedders and stuff like that as well. So I think that's where I'm going to end the video. There's nothing much more to it. I just thought I'd show you guys the method I'm using at the moment to breed them, and I find it really successful, and especially easy for me as well. And easy is what you want when you're breeding multiple different species at a time. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one.